More than 20,000 sailors on 2,000 ships are thought to be stranded due to the closure to international shipping through the Strait of Hormuz. Many have been stuck on their ships since the start of this conflict in February. Guy Platten is the chair of the mission to Seafarers. Guy, welcome. Good to see you. What are you hearing from the seafarers stranded in the Strait of Hormuz? I wonder how they're managing.
I think frustration, I think a little bit of fear of what's around the corner. I think just don't know what's going on really and when it's all going to be resolved. I think, and some of them have been stuck on for months now. I think food and supplies are okay, but it's the psychological effect, I think, really mainly, and also, of course, their families will be really worried about them.
I mean, global shipping has been through a number of crises in recent years, hasn't it? I mean, I'm thinking about the Suez Canal blockage, the Panama Canal crisis, and, of course, COVID. I mean, I wonder how this situation compares for the global shipping sector.
Well, I think it's obviously it's regionalised in the sense it's not all the ships around the world. It's the ships stuck in the Straits of Hormuz, and you're right, COVID was an awful time for seafarers. A lot of the nations wanted the goods to come in, but there was at one time over 400,000 seafarers stuck on board ships, unable to get off. So it's really dreadful, the 20,000, but and it's just really know what's around the corner next. When is this going to get resolved? We're hearing sort of peace talks are underway. Let's hope there's resolution there and we can get their ships out and they can get back on with their jobs and back home to their families.
Are there any alternatives available for the ships and their crews other than simply stand and await confirmation of safe passage?
Not really, to be honest with you, because that's the only way out of the Gulf. So until they have surety that they can pass safely through the Straits of Hormuz, their only option really is to stay put, and that's indeed what ship owners are doing as well. They're not really risking sending their ships through until they know that they'll be not be attacked. So it's just a wait-and-see game at the moment.
What are these people doing for supplies of food and medical supplies?
So they'll be well supplied from the different ports around the Gulf region, so that's not a major concern. I mean, water has to be replenished. They won't be able to make their own water, for example, so that'll have to come in. So I'm not hearing that's a major problem. I think it's really just time on board the ship, waiting to see what happens and how unsettling that must be. And I always remember this, the families at the end of it, they don't know what's going on and they'll be extremely worried about their loved ones.
I mean, I guess that it's our industry's fault in a sense. I mean, the headlines have been absolutely consumed with the narrative of politicians and the military action. These innocent people caught in the middle of this have had less coverage, haven't they?
Indeed, I think it's great that you're highlighting their plight. I mean, a lot of them get access to internet, but they'll be following the events of what's going on, just wondering what's next, really. I think it's very frustrating for them, and I think it's right to highlight these are civilians. They're caught up in a conflict not of their making, and I think we should always bear that in mind. They just want to get on with their job, which is really supplying the world with the food, the fuel, and all of the supplies that we need to keep ourselves going.
I guess it's a big shock, isn't it, for us in the 21st century, used to air travel, to realise quite so bluntly how dependent the world is on this narrow stretch of water.
Yeah, indeed. Exactly 20% of the oil supplies. But I think it was one International Maritime Organization Secretary General who said, without shipping, half the world will starve and half the world would freeze. So there's some truth to that, really. We are so dependent on these ships to get through with the fuel, the food, everything that makes everyday living bearable.
Guy, good to talk to you, and thank you very much for coming on the programme. Guy Platten, the chair of the Mission to Seafarers.